What's up guys, Kevin Goetz here from Mute Profit, helping you achieve musical success. Today we're going to be talking about how to make passive income as a musician. That's income that makes itself. You don't have to go out and do something necessarily to get the money. In the old days that was stuff like royalties when your song was played on the radio, or CD sales, which do still happen. But we have way more options available to us now, so I figured I'd go over some of the basics. The first is YouTube. So ad revenue today is not what it once was, but it can still be quite helpful. The problem is that with the way the YouTube algorithm is now, you pretty much have to be uploading minimum 3 times a week, maybe 5 times a week, ideally daily, to even stand a chance at succeeding on YouTube. However, if you can find a way to do that, if you do like I do, if you teach on the side, or if you put out a lot of cover songs, or if you're just clever with how you distribute your music, you can absolutely do that. I think at the most recent projections, someone with 250,000 subscribers who uploads, I want to say 5 times a week, if I remember the statistic right, will on average make about $30,000 per year from that alone. And I know it doesn't sound like passive income at all if you have to make that many videos, but if you're good at making videos, you're turning what is essentially an hour of work into 5 days worth of videos, and boom, that's pretty good money. In this same vein is Patreon, where your fans can actually support you directly through what is essentially a tip system. I'm not a fan of using Patreon for YouTube, at least not right now. I may change my mind on that in the future, but using it as another way to offer perks to your music fans in exchange for a little bit of extra income, that's absolutely a thing you can do. There's also song licensing. I think Song Trader is the current hip thing right now, where your song is licensed and then picked up for, video games, movies, whatever, and you get royalties for that. Another just hugely helpful thing is dropshipping. So what that is you pick one of the many online made-on-demand merchandise shops. And so rather than go out and print and ship shirts yourselves, they are made when they are ordered, and then the company handles shipping them off. You lose some money in the front end because you aren't making quite as much per shirt as you would be if you bulk printed a bunch. But for me, personally, in my experience, that has been more than made up for by the fact that dropshipping companies will ship to Europe, for instance, without charging the rates of US to Europe shipping, which is insane. Because most of my band's fan base is in Canada, Europe, and not as much in the United States, although we do have a good helping of US fans. So if every time I needed to ship a CD, I was paying an additional $12 to ship it to Sweden, I just wouldn't work. But by printing and shipping it through Amazon, I only have to charge something like $3 for shipping. In any case, this is getting off topic. Probably the best and my favorite way to make passive income as a musician is Facebook ads. And a lot of people who aren't very good marketers or who are kind of squeamish are going to be like, wait, how are you making passive income if you're spending money with Facebook? Because if you're good at what you do, you're spending money so that you can create a relationship with your fans, which does happen fairly automatically if you're the right kind of likable. So if you can set up a scenario where you're spending $5 on Facebook ads and making back $10, and then you scale that up, spend 25, make back 50, etc., then literally while you sleep, Facebook's algorithm is going out and connecting you to new fans who will often like you enough to support you. And that's something people just don't understand. It's like, yeah, you could listen to my music on Spotify, but you really like me as a person. So, you would much rather have an autographed CD that you can hold in your hands. You would much rather have a shirt you can wear. Person-to-person loyalty and reciprocity and connection is still very much a thing. Just because you don't hear the record label executives talking about how that's how they make their money, because they don't, because record label executives are terrible, doesn't mean it doesn't work for us independent musicians. And, yeah. And one last example that I'm only going to mention because it might apply to a couple people watching this, but in general it probably won't. If you teach, you can make a lot of extra money by offering online courses. Not a lot of people can pull this off. It's hard to make a high-quality online course that actually solves a problem in a unique way that someone else hasn't already done. I would venture to say that 1% of teachers have the right stuff to actually do this and have it be successful. But again, I figured I'd mention it in case anyone doesn't know about this. Essentially, there are sites like Teachable or Udemy or Kajabi where you can set up an online class, essentially, that people pay whatever amount of money for, and then they get premium material that you don't cover just on YouTube. Thanks so much for watching. I have new videos on music marketing coming out every Wednesday, as well as other music lessons of various types coming out every single day. And that includes songwriting, instrumentation, creative mindsets, audio engineering, everything you could possibly need. I aim to make this channel the single destination for anything and everything you will need to achieve success in music.